You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Solana, the Herons are back, baby. Welcome to another episode of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Chris Duran, and alongside me is none other than Daniel Solana. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It was a wonderful Tuesday. Definitely doing better than you. I just saw the news on Twitter. You got your butt whooped in foot. I don't know if it was today or last night, but oof.
It was yesterday. It was yesterday.
It was a rough one, huh?
Oh yeah, it was a thrashing. Absolutely. I got to get my game up. Absolutely. But you know, that'll take some time. But guys, welcome to episode number 245 of the Battered Herons podcast. Again, we're gonna go cover a lot of stuff. We did have an episode yesterday in Spanish, but today, of course, we're gonna have it in English. Now, there's a couple things that I kind of wanted to talk about, and I tried to put up the video, but for some reason it didn't pan out. But it's a little bit about Luis Suarez, right? With Luis Suarez and what's going on with him. One of the things that I kind of wanted to go over was how everybody was kind of spazzing out that he's going to have this huge announcements. I mean, at this point, it seems like huge announcements aren't, he's announcing that he's retiring, but then he's not. He's retiring from Uruguay, but not, club soccer. Just wanted to get your thoughts as of course, a person from Uruguay.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, honestly, yesterday was probably one of the saddest days in my soccer life, just because everybody knows that. I mean, I've been bantering about Luis Suarez throughout my entire career, throughout my life, about how much I love Suarez, how much of a great player he is. So for myself and obviously a lot of fellow Uruguayans who follow the national team, we're sad that Friday will be Suarez's last game in the Celeste. But as a fan base and as a country, we're proud to have him represent us for the last 17 years. And the one thing that I think some folks might have overreacted a little bit yesterday was due to some of his comments. And maybe it wasn't an overreaction, but maybe just a play on words, in sort of saying we as an Inter Miami fan base, or the Inter Miami fan base, needs to enjoy the last few months of Suarez. And I think, it's a little too early to say, it's the last few months. He left the door wide open yesterday, saying he really is enjoying his time playing with the club, enjoying the city. So I think he left the door open for one more year. And for those of you that are tuning in for the Solana bomb, that is not the Solana bomb. But I do have some folks who are within Suarez's inner circle. And like I said, he's really enjoying it. And it wouldn't come as a surprise to me if he resigns for an additional year, along with the other three Messi friends.
Well, I mean, and sorry for leaving. I don't know what just happened. My computer just took a dump for a second. But you mentioned it yesterday in the Spanish show, in terms of like these guys might just play next year, and then it's going to be their final farewell year, and then they're all just going to ride off into the sunset, and leave us in a better place than we ever were in the past, right? Because as a club, we're growing, and a lot of things are changing. I see a lot of people mentioning Chris went dark. Yeah, sorry about that. I just kind of disappeared. And Cynical Tube is mentioning, bro, what's the announcement? Now, guys, apparently there's stuff that's hush-hush, but there's a lot of people that know of hush-hush stuff. We'll see if it gets dropped, what we're going to be doing at that point. But that's one thing I wanted to go over. Another thing I kind of wanted to talk about, which we talked a little bit about in text message. We have a good friend that does a podcast for Cincinnati, talking Cincinnati FC, and it's Justin Blair. He went ahead and he sent us something that's really cool, that the season ticket members over there apparently get treated so much better than we do, right? And I know that you're not a big fan of like gizmos and gadgets, Solana, but this is kind of a care package that season ticket members get, right, for being a season ticket member for their team, for FC Cincinnati. I mean, here we have a couple cool things, like what is that? I don't know, a shirt, a bufanda, a beanie, a cup, a little box. I mean, so far it looks pretty,
I
right,
saw
Solana?
I saw they also got a little replica, like a small replica of the supporter shield that
Right
they
there.
won last year as well. I mean, that's also a reminder of them having a great season and fizzing out in the playoffs, right? So I don't know how, how amazing it is. Again, I'm very, I guess, weird when it comes to these types of things. I've been very vocal about it. I'm more about the team, and like I said, I can't compare it to Inter Miami because I don't have season tickets to Inter Miami, but I've had season tickets to the Heat. I've mentioned it for many, many years. We talk about it on the Battered Heat fans as well, over 20 years. And I mean, I can't remember a year where I'm complaining to my season ticket rep, hey, I want gifts, or the Heat do a pretty good job of giving out free T-shirts here,
Yeah,
every other game, or a towel or a poster, things like that. There's giveaways during games, but you know, I'm not here crying or yelling at my rep like, hey, I want more free stuff. I want more free stuff. No, I'd really just rather Pat Riley in the front office put together a competitive team so that I can go and literally my investment, which is in the team, I'm having a good time at the game. That's what I want.
absolutely.
It sucks that year that we had Blake Ahern. And sorry to take away from soccer, but it sucks when you have a crappy team and you're paying all this money for it, but you have to put the trust in the front office.
I want to see if I can be able to give everybody a perspective, at least from my point of view. Someone who, I do have season tickets, as well as Danny, who is not on the show today. But guys, this is beautiful. Giving this to season ticket members. This is a beautiful piece of commemorative history of the team that season ticket members are investing their money and time. And we're not just talking about money towards the season tickets. We're not talking about just time going to the games. Okay. And now look at this. I mean, we're talking about detail. For those of you on audio, this is going to be a shit show. But check us out on YouTube and give us a like and subscribe and all that kind of other good stuff. But here on this image, you literally see the details etched in whatever this commemorative supporter shield, miniature supporter shield is. I mean, this thing is a thing of beauty as far as like for people that support the team. Now, again, I'm telling you right now, as a season ticket member, and we're talking about in terms of the investment that a person makes, not just in time, but like I said, in their funds, in their money. I was just talking about the fact that not only do you spend and invest money in getting season tickets per year, but you spend money to go and pay for parking. You spend on getting the drip. You get the kits, right? You spend on concessions. You're there every year for the time that you have these season tickets. Even when the team was, and I'm going to use just a Spanish word here, insoportable, okay, unsupportable, you still support. Kind of like this, the supporter groups, they support as well, and they go out and they support. Season ticket members also support. They pay their season ticket package to be able to go. But guys, everybody needs to be treated with equal respect.
I got you, Chris. I found the Leagues Cup replica trophy, a miniature, for $12. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy it for you, and I might even get it engraved with your initials. How does that sound?
But you find it from like a Joe Blow that made it. This isn't something that the MLS or like the organization is supplying for you. I can get a Joe Blow to make me whatever the hell I want. But the fact is that if you want to treat your season ticket members with respect, the same respect equally, right? Then I feel that everybody should be able to get treated with the same amount of respect, with the same amount of equality, right? As far as like this goes, right? And you always talk about it, and I always get your point, right? These little, gizmos and stuff. I get it. We have the best team in this league by far, the best player, arguably, in the world, right? Something that no other team has. But again, I think that stuff like this is cool because after Messi leaves, you have things like this that you can be able to look back and say, well, I have this. This is from my support to the team. Messi is somebody I can be able to go see in person or watch on TV. But again, maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, we can get into the semantics of it. We can get into the analytics of it, Chris. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to the bottom line. Inter Miami's roster costs a little bit more than Cincinnati's roster as a whole. So Cincinnati might have some. And again, I don't know. I'm not looking at their balance sheets. I don't know what gross profit or net profit Inter Miami is making versus what net profit Cincinnati's making. But
yeah,
I mean, I'm part of the analytical world, and logic to me makes, it kind of points me to the fact that in Cincinnati might have a little bit of extra cash to spend because their players are maybe not at the level or getting the same amount of money that Inter Miami is. So they're spending their funds on their team, who currently is in a record-breaking historical year, possibly. Again, with some of the best players ever to make up an MLS roster. So, look, they said that in a few weeks that the season ticket holders should be receiving an email, talking about getting an ability to choose from a number of different gifts. So you all you'll get your chance to choose your gifts. But let me ask you, at the end of the day, do you prefer 5 or 6 trinkets, or do you prefer Messi lifting the MLS Cup trophy at the end of the year? Like, at the end of the day, what would make your pocket feel better and your investment feel better? For Inter Miami to fizzle out in the playoffs, or for them to lift the MLS trophy?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. You would want your team to lift up the trophy and to get the best player, arguably in the entire world, to be able to play for your team. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But and look, and Gus mentioned here, and we pay more too.
That's a lie, because I've spoken to friends of mine who live in St. Louis, Mo, who does a great podcast out there. There's not that big of a difference in the tickets. I mean, maybe in some of the Leagues Cup games there was a difference. He said that their tickets were $20-$30 versus the ones at Chase Stadium were maybe 70, 80, 90, and even north of that at some points. But in terms of actual tickets, we've gone ahead and we've proven it on our show that it's kind of, everybody's kind of in there. Yes, you might pay a little bit more. You might pay the Messi tax a little bit more, but it's not that substantial.
Well, and I want to put something here, because Anton John says, Chris, you get the best team in MLS with Messi and friends. You don't need anything else. If you're Montreal, you can have a hot dog and a trophy. I mean, look, from Solana's perspective, for sure Solana's going to agree, right? I know for sure he's going to agree, because it's undoubted that we are getting the best team in the entire league. So yeah, give hot dogs and trophies to Montreal in them. But again, I just think that for an organization that is making a lot of money, because the ticket prices for season ticket holders did go up substantially. Luckily, in my case, in the area where we sit, it didn't go too high. But in places, for example, like Mike V, right here, he's saying, but not more than LA's rosters, and they charge much less. For him, the tickets went up substantially, right? You have Mike from the Inter Miami podcast. His tickets went up substantially. So I don't know if, I mean, we'd have to look at it and see exactly how much it went up for other teams. But for the most part, and Mr. Krabs, I don't want Ian Frey's jockstrap. I could have bought that at a garage sale last year that they had in front of Gate 1 for like $2, and I didn't. Okay,
that's your loss, bro. That's your loss. Yeah. See?
Look, I know a lot of people that bought jock straps. I hope they're happy with the jock straps. I mean, to each his own. I could have, but I didn't.
You didn't even get Taylors? I mean, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I listen, I would have gotten Taylors if I knew that there was like a Taylor box, but I didn't go into it was a long line. It was a long line for that little garage sale. So and Tommy ATL from Scarves and Spikes is saying, I knew if Solana was on, we were talking ticket prices.
It was it was just, it's just how the pod went. You know, we weren't intending on talking about ticket prices. It just
Yeah.
kind of led our way there. But you know, we were intending about talking about a little bit about Suarez and some other things. So I don't know. What do you want to talk about next, Chris?
Well, I mean, other than the ticket prices, because I got into it because season ticket holders, like I said, I was mentioning that they should be treated a little bit equally when it comes to things and events and stuff like that. In terms of Luis Suarez, that's the biggest news that sort of hit the waves recently, especially with him saying that he was going to retire. I mean, in terms of retiring, like the good thing is that we're going to be able to see him the rest of this year. We're probably going to be able to see him next year. And it's like what you mentioned in the Spanish show yesterday. Essentially, we're going to be able to get a full team to be able to take advantage and get every single piece of hardware that's going to be in front of us next year. And look at this. Mike V saying 4 tickets, $12K.
Yeah, I'm just responding to him now. That's what my Heat season tickets cost, $3K a year. And there's 9,000 more capacity, or sorry, 8,500 more capacity at Kaseya Center with the 20,000 seating. So look, it's not just Inter Miami. It happens. I mean, Chris, you're a New York fan overall,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
New York Yankees tickets. You think New York Yankees tickets are cheap? Heck no. You think Boston Red Sox tickets are cheap? Heck no. New York Rangers tickets? None of those tickets are cheap. Like that's the unfortunately that's the cost of living in a big city and having the type of players and stars and tourists and all that come to your city to watch these teams. Unfortunately, the ticket prices are higher. You don't like it. You want some gifts, go live in Cincinnati. You know, go be a fan of Pat Noonan. You don't like it? Go to Sporting KC, you know, go join Kevincho over there. And he's having a terrible time this season because Sporting KC is not having a great time. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I want to mention something here because there's a couple things that people are talking about in the chat. I got lost. I got lost here. Let's see. So Tony Axe, this is a good question. Tony Axe is asking, Chris, are you basing all this on one cool gift from FC Cincinnati, or did Columbus and LAFC hand out something similar? This is a great question, Tony. Make sure that you're live tonight at 9 p.m. when we're going to do the Battered MLS podcast, because I'm going to ask this same question to the other panelists that are going to be doing the show with me, because this is a question that I think should be answered. Aside from that, I guess to be able to wrap up the Luis Suarez conversation with a bow, do you believe that Luis Suarez is the MVP?
No doubt. There's zero doubt in my mind. The bandwagoners are already starting to hop on. I saw it all last week, especially after his masterclass performance against Chicago on Saturday. Even his big buddy Taylor Twellman, who I love to call out. He's a good guy, man. He makes good, sometimes he makes great comments, sometimes he doesn't. But in regards to Suarez, he said at the beginning of the year, I will not forget it, against LA Galaxy, that his knees looked bad. He looked very terrible and slow. And now he's talking about Suarez being the MVP or Suarez having this great year. So it's nice to see, the media pundits be wrong about something and for Solana to be right finally.
Now, I want to mention something here because Tony Axe is also, Tony Axe, you're on the ball with the questions today. MLS. Tony Axe saying MVP for Miami or MLS? For the MLS, yeah, because unfortunately Messi hasn't been playing recently. He hasn't played a lot of games. Luis Suarez has been critical to this team.
Yeah, Luis Suarez has 20 goals and 11 assists in all competitions so far. 16 goals in just MLS. And that's one goal behind the two leaders, which are Chicho Arango and Christian Benteke. And he's got 7 games left. So, if he can, knock, I don't know, I would say 5-6 goals in these next 7 games, he takes home the Golden Boot. And if he takes home the Golden Boot and Inter Miami wins the Supporter Shield, you cannot give it to anybody else but Luis Suarez.
And look, everybody's going to mention Messi, right? If he has like this fire ending of a season, should he get the MVP? I still don't think that if he has a fire ending of the season that he should get MVP.
You're talking about
Because
Messi now.
yeah, I'm talking about Messi. Because at the end of the day, like, look, Cynical Tube is mentioning here, Messi will make Suarez get the boot. Absolutely. The moment that Messi gets on here, all the attention is going to be to him. He's going to be able to facilitate, give the ball to Suarez. And Suarez is a giving player as well, but Suarez is going to put the balls in the back of the net, right? Factual fruit, dropping dimes. Suarez keeps scoring. He's both. He's him. He's him. Suarez should get it, right?
I want to play devil's advocate for a second because we all know when Messi comes back, usually Messi takes penalties for this team.
Yeah.
Now, we know Messi historically has been very, very, very selfless when it comes to taking penalties because when he was in Barcelona, he allowed Neymar to take some penalties. I believe he also had Neymar was taking penalties also at PSG. So my question would be, knowing how close Suarez is to getting the golden boot, if there is a penalty in a game where Suarez and Messi are playing, does Messi allow Suarez to take it? I'm curious what the chat thinks.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm going to give you my answer, but guys, answer in the chat. Do you think Messi would give Luis Suarez the penalty kicks? And I'm going to tell you, for sure he would. Because if he was willing to give it to Joseph when he was going through a funk and his boy Luis Suarez is trying to get that golden boot, for sure he's going to be giving it to him. And everybody is agreeing right now that Messi definitely will. Suarez, yes, absolutely. Kung Lee saying, I think so. We would do it 100%. I think he would. Stancy saying Messi is very generous. So, and Clara is agreeing with me, right? That we're going to be able to go ahead and check him make sure that he does get the golden boot because look, I mean, at this point, what's Messi? He's not going to be playing for any records at this point. Let him save that for next year. Give it to Luis Suarez. Let him get it. So yes, I agree with you. MVP for sure, Luis Suarez. I do believe that Luis Suarez is going to get the MVP this year, not just in terms of for the league, but I do feel that he is the MVP of Inter Miami as well. So now, one more thing I did want to mention, okay, because everybody has been mentioning something about the logo without herons on it. So this image right here has been circulating. Okay, this one right here. As you could see, different from my shirt that have the herons right here. There's nothing there anymore. It is completely blank. Apparently, there is going to be some sort of grandiose announcement tomorrow. Okay. Now, what this announcement is, I don't know. Now, there's a lot of questions here. Soccer Daddy, new logo. Mr. Krabs, that logo looks so cursed. Aria asking, what's the deal? And Stancy wants the herons back. Vice City Lucas is here saying, can't wait. Wait for what exactly? Vice City Lucas.
Solana knows.
And how many people, well, aside from Solana knowing, aside from that, I just want everybody to understand there's a lot of people that know about this. There's people posting online vaguely in secret languages about whatever this is right here. So, look, Bigote is asking to spill it. Apparently, supposedly, this is something that is under wraps. Under wraps. But there's like a gajillion people that know about this. Is it really under wraps? Do the people that are in the need to know about this really in the need to know? Or are they also kind of spilling the beans?
I'm only allowed to say what you and Danny allow me to say here. So When you give me the go ahead, I can say what I can say, or we can just let the team announce it tomorrow.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a big fan of like doing the whole spill the beans deal, right? Uh, I mean, I do enjoy a spill the beans moment every now and then. Okay. But what kind of bothers me, all right? And Bigote says under the wraps of pinstripes, and everybody's predicting what it's actually going to have Matuidi's face, right? Time of announcement. I'm not sure when the time of the announcement is. And Mr. Krabs is asking to spill the frijoles. Stancy, you can go to Twitter all you want. You'll find it. You'll find it. So I honestly, I wouldn't be upset to spill it, but what really upsets me is how so many people are being very vague about whatever this is, and then upset that people want to talk about it.
Well, can I just give you what I mean, and just focusing on the logo, on this specific logo,
just right here.
Can I just kind of give you my idea of what it is, and maybe I don't want to spill the full beans, but I will give a little something here, just so that the folks can understand where I'm coming from. So I've gotten word from some folks that are very close to me that tomorrow will be the official launch of Miami Freedom Park. And the reason why that is such a big deal, and why this picture and this tweet that Inter Miami is kind of throwing out is kind of a big deal, is I think that could possibly be a new logo for Miami Freedom Park. Again, this is that's my opinion. That's my take on what that is. I'm not sure if it's a completely brand new crest. Maybe it's something that they'll use going into the new stadium. I don't know. What I do know, and what I can confirm, is that tomorrow there is a Miami Freedom Park launch. The location is in Wynwood. That's all I know, and that's all I can say. That's all I know. So tomorrow there's a launch, and there's something going on in Wynwood, but that's it.
Doc DRT is mentioning, why are we being so secretive? And does it seem, I don't think it seems like such a secret.
No,
I don't think it seems like such a secret. And Skrill is saying they don't know. People lying, right? And this is the funniest thing right here. Factual Fruit saying they make a new logo and have those shirts for sale, $169.99. And people will buy it. People will buy it for sure.
They will.
So that's kind of the crazy part. That's kind of the crazy part. So yeah, that's what's going on with this logo, right? Apparently there is going to be an announcement. I don't know what time this supposed announcement is going to take place. I do know that everyone's on Twitter right now. And I mean, look at this. Stancy literally Stancy said that they were going on Twitter, and Stancy says it was easy to find out. It's all over Twitter, right?
My question is, why is it so secretive?
I don't know. I mean, Vice City Lucas brings up a point here. Why would they change the logo that has made them hella money after just 5 seasons? But then, Lucas, why would they remove it here? Why would they remove that? That doesn't make any sense either. Does it? I mean, why would they remove it if they didn't intend on changing it? I mean, what? They're going to put 3 herons? They're going to put 1? So, I don't know. People are asking, what did you search? Right now, You are the hot one at the dance, Stancy. So I don't know what else to do with this, to be perfectly honest. Two herons and a goat. That's a good guess. John Paul Terrazas. Uh, and then Pablo Golazo is saying the logo is going on a license plate. Well, eventually, when everybody decides to pony up their $30 and buy license plates. So this is a weird place to be in. What are you yawning for, Florida man? What are you yawning for?
He didn't like the announcement, apparently.
He didn't. Look, Florida man, if you go and sit on Twitter for a little bit, you'll understand that right now, what's happening is there's a lot of people that are pretty upset about things that are out there in terms of and it could be an Illuminati reference, Axel. You're absolutely right. So it could be. I really don't know where else to take this other than, I mean, we covered Luis Suarez, right? We covered in terms of the cool gifts that that FC Cincinnati fans get, season ticket members, and then of course we covered this magical logo that is coming out with no logo in the middle. Other than that, I mean, at this point, I don't know what else there is to talk about.
There is a few things that you forgot to mention or might have left out. One being, there's like 150 people watching us and we only got 20 likes. I mean, what the hell is that?
Yeah, guys, come on. It's that easy. Just tap it, use your thumb, tap the like button, tap the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And give us a like.
Absolutely.
Come on, Antonio.
Now, there was a lot of comments of the day today because the chat was on fire, and we thank you guys so much for being with us. And if you want to know more, Danny, you putting me on the spot. I mean, is that the go ahead? Is that the go ahead, or
is that the green light, Danny?
I'm waiting for the green light. Anyways, we can keep this going. But one of the greatest comments that I saw was the first comment, and I don't know if you saved it or not. Let me see if I can. But the first comment, if I'm not mistaken, was that the big announcement was going to be that Danny finally watched the Keanu Reeves movie, and I think that is absolutely hilarious.
That was
absolutely hilarious.
That was money. That is an actual great comment. And this is so stupid. Look, we got Danny, who is right now playing daddy duties with his wife and hanging out with the family. Says Solana got the info. He's playing nice and allowing the club and supporters group to have their moment. Listen,
thank you, Danny.
It couldn't have been said better. For those of you who got your fucking panties in a bunch, calm the fuck down. Calm your fucking tits. Okay? Because like this news isn't as private as a lot of people are making it out to be. Okay? And Steve Munoz is saying that was a bad kind of Goya beans by Solana. Listen, it goes back to Danny's comment right here. Solana got the info, and he's allowing the club and the supporter groups to have their moment. So congratulations to you guys.
Solana's for the fans. See?
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, wait, hold on. Lucas, Daniel Solana already spoiled it? No, he didn't. And Adrian, there's no clickbait. We didn't put it up on the video. We didn't put it on the title that we were going to go ahead and like blast this out. Okay.
I just said I was going to announce something, and I threw a couple sentences out there for the fans.
Yeah.
Take it as you want, and you'll hear more about it tomorrow. Yeah, I mean.
And again, I want to preface this by saying, right? And Danny says, no, let them have their day tomorrow. Don't want to hear them crying about it later. This is perfect. Calm your tits. You can have your little prom night tomorrow. Okay. Enjoy your little events or whatever it is. Okay. You guys can be able to enjoy yourselves tomorrow. and it is what it is, I guess.
And last
So
thing, before we go, we gotta wish well to our three call-ups. That were called up this week. Luis Suarez, as we know, to the Uruguay national team, playing his last game against Paraguay. He will not travel to Venezuela, so he will go directly back to Miami after that game, which is good news. He'll have plenty of time to train with the team. Diego Gomez is joining his mates over in Paraguay. He will play Suarez on Friday. Let's hope there is no bad blood between them in the game. And then, we had one more call up. David Ruiz was called up by the Honduran national team. So let's hope that all three players, get to play and get home well and healthy. And that's really all that I got to say about that.
I want to keep bringing these. You guys are awesome in the comments. Florida Man is saying 245 is the new 145. The dude Abides is saying this podcast is more important than the billionaires having their moment. It's not just the billionaires, it's the supporter groups as well. They get to have their night as well. Okay, let them have their night. And Adrian, this is a good comment. I'm not gonna lie. Adrian, longtime fan, always been rocking with the show for many, many years. Met the dude, super cool guy. Says Chris, who fights being filtered, is filtering Solana today. I'm not filtering him. Okay. As you could tell, we got the call down. Okay. Let me go back. We got the call down from the big wig. Okay. Said no, let them have their day tomorrow. Okay. We don't want to hear people getting upset about leaking or putting information out there. So yeah, that's as close as we're going to be able to get to this.
When the boss speaks, you listen. That's all you got to say,
And Mike V saying, what the supporter groups ever do for me? Where is the English chant? Bruh. Come on, Danny. We don't want to wait. Danny, we still got time. We still got like 5 more minutes before I start preparing for the MLS podcast. Danny, if you're watching, you give us the green light and it's on like Donkey Kong. Okay? On like Donkey Kong. But you know what? That was a good comment by Mike V. That was a good comment by Mike V. What the supporter groups ever do for me? Where's the English chant? Bruh. Now that look, you can't take away from the supporter groups. The supporter groups, they lend a lot to the ambiance of the game. They go out there and they play, they give it all when it comes to their support on their end and all over the stadium. There's a lot of people that are also supporting all over the stadium, but the supporter groups in the North Stand, listen, they bust their ass early. They get there early. They set up. They bring in the instruments. They prepare weekly, days before the game. So you do have to give them credit. They do put in a lot of work that a lot of people don't tend to see, and they only see on game day, right? But again, it's listen. We're gonna end it this way. We're not gonna drop any of the juice because Daniel's just telling us tune in at 9 p.m. for Bad MLS podcast. That's his way of saying shut the hell up, Chris. Don't say shit, Solana. And so we're gonna keep it that way. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. So, guys, thank you, guys. And any last words, Solana, before we go?
No, man, I'm just ready for the next show. So let's see what unfolds tomorrow. Let's see what that logo means. And I'll be happy to join you for the next show.
Yes, that's going to be great. And guys, for those of you that are listening on audio, guys, thank you so much for listening. You can catch us on Spotify, on iTunes, on any other audio platform. Drop a like, leave a comment, and say, I don't know, spill the beans. I don't know. For those of you that were listening right here on YouTube live, thank you guys so much for hanging tight with us and for hanging out with us. Go ahead and leave us a like, subscribe. Florida Man is not leaving a happy man, says boo 245. And the dudes Abides is saying thanks for nothing, guys. Listen, don't thank us. Okay. You could thank Danny. Okay, and we love you too. We love you too, Florida man. Guys, again, look at what Florida man's saying. Like, sub. It literally is free 99. Just take the thumb, hit the like button, and much appreciated. You guys are literally the best part of the show. Guys, this show wouldn't be what it is without you guys. So it's much appreciated, the time and commitment that you guys give to us. But other than that, guys, thank you guys for everything. And until the next one. Oh, by the way, make sure that you guys hang tight. In about 15 minutes, we're going to start the Battered MLS podcast. So go ahead and just back out, jump right back into that. It's going to be myself with 4 other people as well. So guys, thank you for taking the time with us. And until the next one, have a good one.
See ya.